wonderful students. So welcome to Educating with Love. Here we are, we're going to be talking about combining like terms. But before we actually get into that, we really have to go over vocabulary. So get your notebooks out. We have to write down some of these examples and go over the vocabulary for each part of an expression. So like I've explained, an expression does not have an equal sign. An equation has an equal sign. And you can hear equal and equation, right? Or part of it. Expression has no equal signs, but yes, it does include variables. So here is an expression. I have an operation. I have a variable. We talked about how variables replace numbers. It's like a mystery number and you don't know what it is, but a letter is representing that number. Now you'll see here that the variable is stuck together with a number. Remember we discussed that if a variable is stuck together with a number, they are actually multiplying. So that number that is stuck together with that variable that's multiplying with that variable is actually called a coefficient. So we call that a coefficient. A coefficient is multiplying with the variable. And then there's an operation that separates it from another term. And in this case, we just have a number here that's being added. So let's talk about what is a term. A term is anything that is having action with another number or variables or coefficients, but what's separating them is really the operation. So I'm going to circle this term. A term can be a combination of a variable with a number or a coefficient. And then here's my other term. So I have two terms in this expression. I have within my expression, I have two terms, one variable, the coefficient that's stuck together with the variable that they are really multiplying, and then just this number that's going to be added. Next, here's another example. So I have x, a variable, plus 2, my coefficient. A coefficient is a number that's multiplying with the variable. Here's the other variable. Remember, a variable is really what it is a mystery number, and it's that letter that's representing the mystery number. Minus 10x. Now the 10 is a coefficient because it's stuck together, multiplying with that variable. Now I see I have two operations here. I have addition and subtraction. And those operations are separating my terms. So I can circle here the x. This is a term. Plus, here is something else that's happening, that's going on. I'm going to circle it, the coefficient with the variable. There is another term. And the subtraction sign is separating the next term. So 10x is my next term. I have three terms in this expression. All right, boys and girls, if you need to rewind, rewind. If you need to fast forward next time, feel free. Good luck. Alrighty, boys and girls. So we went over the vocabulary necessary to be able to simplify and combine like terms on an expression. So let's go ahead and test it out. I did fail to mention to you something very important. If you see a variable by itself and you don't see a number in front of it, you can assume that there's a 1 in front of it. But I want you to know also, if that 1 is multiplying with the variable, all that's happening is you're really just keeping that same variable, because 1 times anything is still, the answer is going to be that other number. So it doesn't really make a difference if you multiply times 1 or not. It's just still going to be x. All right, so let's move on. But just so you know, the coefficient is 1. So we have 5x, 2y, and 1x. What terms are alike? The 5x and the negative 1x. So I'm going to combine those. 5x minus 1x, because we have x and x. And what do I have left? I'm going to take the operation that's in front, and I have plus 2y. Okay, they are not alike because these are x's as my variable. This is y. Now, can I combine 5x minus 1x? Of course you can. So what's going to happen here is you have to subtract 5 minus 1. 5 minus 1 would be, would be 4x. Bring down what you haven't used. There's nothing else for me to combine with the 2y. So my answer will be 4x plus 2y. And I'm all done. I can circle my final answer. Alrighty guys, so let's go ahead and go and just do a more complicated problem. So I have 3n squared plus 5n minus 4 minus 2n. You have to look and see which terms are alike. So this is n squared. Are there any other n squareds? No. So I'm just going to go ahead and write that down. 3n squared. I'm bringing it down. I really can't do anything with it. It's just going to stay there. 5n. Are there any other coefficients with the variable of n? Yes, there are. It's 2n. So I'm going to go ahead and bring down the addition sign. Plus 5n. Bring this down. Minus 2n. Bring down what I haven't used. I have not used minus 4. Minus 4. And there are no like terms. There are no other just numbers on its own. So that's just going to go on the back. I can't combine this, but I can combine this. So I'm going to write 3n squared plus 5n minus 2n. 5n minus 2n is 3n minus 4. There's nothing else I can do. This is my final answer. There are no other like terms. I'm all done.